Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, the Sports and Recreation Center, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of College of Staten Island women's basketball and the 2019 season and home opener for the CSI Dolphins. Tonight, the College of Staten Island tip off their season against the Bears from St. Joseph's College of Brooklyn. Tip-off time is scheduled for 5:30, so we'd like to welcome you into our brief pregame show right here on CSI Sportsnet. David Pizzuto alongside Mike Babusky. And Mike, another year, another promising season for the Dolphins. There'll be a new-look team this year with first-year head coach Nicole Sarcone.
Yeah, you know, Dave, it's hard to imagine where the time goes. You know, we were just watching the Dolphins compete in the finals of the CUNYAC tournament, a game that, you know, I all think we felt pretty good going into, and a game that the Dolphins ended up losing by a final score of 59-50 in what was probably the toughest game of Christina Passatoro's career, as she shot just 4 of 24 in that game. And, you know, the Dolphins season came to a little bit of an unexpected year, but, you know, like you mentioned, Dave, a new year, a lot of optimism for this team, a lot of players leaving, a lot of players coming in, so it should be an exciting year. And, you know, once again, we look forward to bringing all the action to you right here on CSI Sportsnet.
Yeah, part of a CSI doubleheader this evening, as a little later on, the CSI men's team will take on Montclair State University in their half of a tip-off. The College of Staten Island, the only CUNY team in action tonight, Mike, so they take center stage. And really, Mike, a lot of question marks coming into this season. We know that the Dolphins have a championship pedigree. They're always near the top of the table, no matter who the staff is. But gone is 6-year head coach Tim Shanahan. Enter Nicole Sarcone, obviously a new offensive and defensive base. And also, Mike, gone, as you mentioned, you alluded to Christina Passatoro. She's now an assistant coach on the team. But gone for the Dolphins, 85% of their scoring offense from a year ago. They're going to need to find points from everywhere in the lineup, but it's going to have to start with their returning big guns, Diana Tadero, Jackie Callie, and Rosa Perone.
Yeah, you know, we saw a lot out of Diana Tadero. You know, she came in and she would very often spark the team, and, you know, she was someone that made an immediate difference last year, Dave, with her toughness out on the floor. And, you know, the Dolphins are obviously going to be looking to build on that here in 2018, and, you know, they do have returning players. And, you know, on last year's team, they may not have necessarily been expected or asked to score, but now things are going to change a little bit, and players like Megan McEwen and Ilana DeMontro and Nicole and Bessie, all those type of players are going to be looked to put some points on the board this year, in addition to playing the supporting roles that they did so well in last year's season.
Yeah, CSI's top 4 scorers from a year ago are off of the roster, plus a few role players a little bit later in the lineup. But Mike, obviously, anytime you have you know, a new calling for some players, it's exciting because it brings out some of the things that we didn't see last year from some of the players. And CSI had some big freshmen last year that didn't get a lot of minutes, simply because the Dolphins were senior laden. But players like Megan McEwen, Brianna Rubisky, these are players that we feel are going to get a lot more playing time, and they're going to be complemented by another full boat of incoming freshmen who could, you know, figure into the scoring.
Yeah, you know, Dave, you look down the Dolphin roster from last year, and you look at players like Christina Passatoro. She played nearly 34 minutes a game for the Dolphins. And then Samantha Flecker, of course, who we haven't mentioned, but of course who was a standout player throughout her 4 years as a Dolphin, you know, also averaged over 30 minutes a game. You had Victoria Cray playing nearly 27 minutes a game. All those minutes have to be replaced, Dave. And, you know, you look down this roster and you see the talent there to do it. We saw Brianna Rubinski as a freshman, come in and play some minutes. We saw some things out of Lena Bitar last year. We saw at times Rosa Perone being able to play well inside the paint. And so you see potential for the Dolphins out there, but the interesting thing is going to be to see where do the points come from, especially early in the season.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. And of course, we have about 3 minutes left until tip-off. Mike, let's turn the page a little bit, talk about St. Joseph's College of Brooklyn. Dolphins have been fantastic against them over the last few years, 19-1 all time against them, but they bring in a lot of firepower from last year. Their top 3 point scorers are back.
Yeah, you know, they are back, and they have a little bit of size. They, you know, start a front line that has a 6-foot player and a 5'10" player, plus they bring another 5'10" player off the bench. But you're right, Dave. They have 32, over 34 points a game returning just in Victoria Porchese and Kelly McDonald. And, you know, they're going to present some challenges for the Dolphins here this afternoon. And, you know, there have been times when the St. Joe's Brooklyn program has struggled a little bit, but traditionally these have been pretty good games throughout the series.
Absolutely. So, Mike, why don't we take a step out, take a break. When we come back, we'll have the introduction of our starting lineups. They'll play the national anthem here. We'll step out for that. When we come back, starting lineups and tip-off right here from the tank at the College of Staten Island. It's the Bears and the Dolphins coming up next.
The ceremony was a blast.
It was just like this surreal moment of my dreams are coming true.
When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said, "Oh, I apologize. She won't be taking you in as a client."
We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to.
And sitting there in that small, cold room, I wanted to cry, just thinking, what did we bring this kid into?
We're simply asking to treat our family the same way that you would treat any family.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be. So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light.
I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind wanders.
They have this video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Welcome back to the Tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. Our formal introductions are getting underway. So, Mike, why don't we take a look at tonight's starting lineups here between the Bears and the Dolphins.
Thanks a lot, Dave. First, for the visiting Bears, they come in having a record of 11-15 overall. Last year, they went 9-9 in their conference, and here are their starting 5 players tonight, as you see up on your screen. Number 4, Jamie Provino. Number 10, Victoria Porcasi. Number 22, Lauren Casada. Number 24, Caitlin Staub. And number 33, Kelly O'Donnell. For the home team, the CSI Dolphins, a lot of new starters in the lineup this year. Number 1, Megan McEwen. Number 13, Diana Tadero. Number 14, Brianna Robitsky. Number 24, Jackie Callie. And number 32, Rosa Perone. The Dolphins being coached this year by first-year head coach Nicole Sarcone. Nicole replacing head coach Tim Shanahan. Coach Shanahan coached 6 years here at the College of Staten Island, piling really an incredible record, Dave. 116-54 overall and 77-19. And, you know, certainly everything that this program has been built up to over the years, the college owes a great debt to Tim Shanahan and his ability to build this program.
Yeah, and probably more than anything else, Mike, a true gentleman of the game, too. Always a kind word, always a smile on his face, no matter what was happening. And, of course, we wish Tim all the best. And got a sneaky suspicion, Mike, he'll probably be tuning in tonight and on a few other occasions throughout the season. Tim's always been a great friend first and then a coach second. And by all means, put a real stamp on this program. And a lot of what we will see here on the floor, Mike, are a testament to him as well as the current coaching staff, which, Mike, includes 2 of his former pupils, Victoria Cray and Christina Passatoro, who have a different look in street clothes. We're so used to seeing them in the lineup jumping it up.
Yeah, you know, of course, Christina, a 4-year starter for this team and really one of the top players in CUNYAC basketball and probably CUNYAC basketball history. And, of course, Victoria, a three-sport star, now an assistant coach.
So we are on the way. The Dolphins with an early turnover, and here come the Bears down the other side of the court. Now we'll work the half-court offense here. Around they go. Back to the top for Percasi. Percasi around to O'Donnell. O'Donnell finds Provino in the corner. There's a three-point attempt from way downtown. No good. Offensive rebound for the Bears. And another three-pointer is good, this time by Provino.
Yeah, that time an opportunity for the Dolphins. They weren't able to grab the rebound.
Dolphins want to run quickly, and getting tied up underneath was Tadero with, I believe that was number 22, Lauren Casada. We'll see, and it will be Casada's first in the early stages, and Diana Tadero will toe the line.
Diana shot 70% from the free throw line last year for the Dolphins.
Tadero is CSI's leading returning scorer, having scored about 6 points per game last year. So we talk about the Dolphins only returning 15% of their scoring offense. She's a big chunk of that as well. 1 of 2, but the offensive rebound for Perone. Callie was stuffed going up, but the Dolphins will retain control. Nice job there by Rosa Perone.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, you mentioned Diana scoring just 6 points a game. She also averaged over 6 rebounds a game, that in just under 16 minutes per game. So a lot of opportunity for Diana to really play a much larger role with this year's team.
Looks like we're going to have a check of the shot clock here. They'll put it down 1 more second to 26. Opening stages here. Tadero left open for a long-range 2. Opts out to McEwen. Perone going to her left. Hit the side of the iron. No good. And the rebound by Casada. And the Bears looking to run. In open space, Percasi puts up a short jumper. Offensive rebound again. Now a scramble, and we'll have a jump ball. Bears will have possession. We have our first jump ball. A fresh 30 on the clock for the Bears as well. As we are 56 seconds in. Bears with the first basket. Dolphins got 1 on the stripe. Percasi the inbound to Provino. Looking inside, back out to Provino. Puts up another 3. It's good.
Yeah, and that's the second time in 2 possessions, Dave, that the Bears were able to score second chance points.
Provino, a freshman from Harrison, New York, and you get a sense of what she's going to be for this Bears team. Early stages, first 6 points of the season. This is Callie for 3. The other way, missed it to the left. And another defensive rebound for Casada. no-look pass. Now driving baseline, but losing control was Kelly O'Donnell, the sophomore.
So O'Donnell will turn the ball over for the first time tonight for the Bears.
O'Donnell, as a freshman last year, led St. Joe's with 17.8 points per game. This is her sophomore effort this season. St. Joe's up by 5, and we're going to have an offensive foul called on the Dolphins away from the ball. I believe it's on Rosa Perone. Nope. No, that's Diana Tadaro. Got my numbers mixed up. So Tadaro, who got in foul trouble at times last year, picks up 140 into the game.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, Dave, and the Dolphins are going to need Diana to stay out on the floor, so you have to balance aggressive play with not committing fouls.
And it will be interesting to see who Sarcone goes to the bench for first on this team. We already know who the first 5 starters were. O'Donnell now driving baseline from the right, puts one up, no good. Long extended rebound. Callie couldn't control it. A block by Perone. So nice job by Rosa Perone to interrupt that shot attempt. But St. Joe's Brooklyn so far on the offensive and hitting the offensive glass. St. Joe's already out rebounding the Dolphins 5-1 here in the early stages. And here is another three-point attempt. That one misses by Pervino, and Callie gets her rebound. McEwen fakes inside, dishes out to Tadaro. Short jumper is good, and Tadaro's got all 3 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, so the Dolphins close now to within 3.
St. Joe's the other way, almost intercepted by Tadaro. The Dolphins really not allowing the Bears to get into the paint much, Mike.
Yeah, they've done a good job. They just have to do a little bit better job with the rebounds, stop those second chance points. Bears with quick 3 early offensive rebounds in the first quarter.
It'll be Percassi to inbound all the way up top, and now we have a foul down low as getting tied up for a pair of players. I believe that one will be on Perone. It is. It's her first. Talk about foul trouble. Perone was littered with it last year. Saw a decrease in her minutes per game as a result. O'Donnell round the horn to Percassi. Percassi looked for a left-footed step. Has to opt out, and now a long-range 2. No good. Wide on the shot was Staub. And it's Tadaro with the rebound. This is McEwen controlling. Megan McEwen will do a lot of the point guard duties this season. Brianna Rubisky's first touch. Dolphins will work it around now to Callie, who will reset things. Takes a couple steps back. McEwen calls for it with 12 on the shot clock. McEwen from up top, offensive foul. That shot will not count. And Diana Tadaro is going to get hit with number 2, Mike. 3 minutes and 8 seconds. Oh, it's on Perone. I'm 0 for 3, Mike, but that is Perone's second.
Yeah, and you mentioned before, Dave, that, one of the keys for the Dolphins is to keep Diana Tadaro on the floor. Same thing with Rosa Perone. 2 fouls in 3 minutes of play, and she's on the bench, and she probably will be there for the rest of the first half, Dave.
And Kayla Schmitter will be the Dolphin to come in, her first action of her career. Meanwhile, the Bears will work it around. O'Donnell was left open, opted out. Percassi around now to Casada. Casada, long-range, 2-point range. Kicks it up, and once again, Pervino fumbled it originally. This is O'Donnell from the baseline. Shot clock winding down, and the basket is good.
Yeah, nice move.
Rubisky now the other way. Off the glass, too strong. O'Donnell gets the board.
Yeah, the ref's allowing a lot of contact to go on both sides of the floor.
Now a long-range 3. Percassi the other way. That's a 3. And the Dolphins need time here, down 11-3 in the early stages. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, and again, when you're hitting your 3-pointers at a 60% clip, and the Bears are 3 of 5 already, and you're doing a nice job with the offensive rebounds as well, you put yourself in good position. And one of the problems the Dolphins are having, kind of a little bit of a carryover from their last game last year, still struggling from the floor, Dave, a little bit offensively.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, Mike, have only taken 4 shots in these first almost 4 minutes. The Bears are 4 of 10 from the field, so they've gotten off 6 more shots. And a part of that, Mike, is the fouls, obviously, and the offensive rebound opportunities for the Bears.
Yeah, the Dolphins have got to find a way. The Bears are coming out, and you can see they have a couple of returning quality offensive players, and we've seen some good looks from the freshman, Jamie Provino, who has picked up a couple of three-pointers here early in the first quarter.
Should mention, too, Mike, that senior Nicole Mbesi has come into the game. And she will have her first touch. Mbesi left open, long two-pointer, no good. Rebound won by Perkazi. And St. Joe's is looking to run again. They get up the floor quickly. Perkazi left open originally. Now the kick down low to O'Donnell. O'Donnell right back up top to Perkazi. Perkazi spin around in the lane, off the glass, no good. And the Dolphins get the rebound, Robisky. Dolphins will work it underneath. McEwen all the way in. And she was touched going up, and she will go to the line.
Nice job that time by Megan. She knew the Dolphins needed to get some points. She took the ball right to the basket, wasn't able to hit the shot, but able to draw the foul and go to the free throw line. And Megan was the leading free throw shooter for the Dolphins last year with limited shots, shooting 79%.
Yeah, 11 of 14, and she hits the first of two here. Cuts the Bears' lead down to 7. And Bessie came in for Jackie Callie. McEwen, another right-handed shot, up and in, no doubt about it. 11-5 is our score. And Dolphins now going to press. But 3-on-2 heading the other way of the Bears, and now wanting to slow things down is Provino. And it'll be Perkasi to run the half-court offense. Robisky on her. Provino up top, 15 on the shot clock. Working against Mbesi, one of the Dolphins' best defensive players through her entire career. Now dipping into the lane, but missing was Staub. And Kayla Schmitter gets her first rebound as a Dolphin. Down low to Darrow. Kicks it back to Schmitter. Schmitter, there's a two. Long range two for Schmitter. Her first career points for the Dolphins, and here they go on the press. And it's turned over by O'Donnell. Tadaro looking for help. Feeds it to McEwen. And there's a kick that will start things over for the Dolphins in the half court. And that's something that the Bears had a lot of trouble with last year, Mike, when these two teams met. The Dolphins applying pressure, and St. Joe's guilty of a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, and the Dolphins starting to look a little bit more comfortable on the floor on a mini 4-0 run with the basketball.
Schmitter turns towards goal, puts one up, no good, gets her own rebound, and the layup is good.
Boy,
Kayla Schmitter.
Sorry, Dave, you got to like what you see out of her early. A couple of quick baskets, and she's hit her first couple of shots and grabbed an offensive rebound. Good start for the freshman.
6-foot freshman from Moore Catholic High School. Dolphins on a 6-0 run. They're down only by 2. This is O'Donnell, long-range three, no good. And Tadaro gets the rebound. St. Joe's now 3 of 6 from long range. And this is McEwen the other way. Setting up, Mbesi up top, Tadaro, free throw line extended, no good. It's going to be a travel, though, before the shot. Shuffling her feet was Tadaro. And we're going to have our first substitution for the Bears as Brianna Gomez will enter the game.
Yeah, that time Diana taking a little bit of a jump before getting that shot up. But again, Dolphins starting to look better, starting to get a little more comfortable here out on the floor.
Again, the Dolphins applying pressure. Errant pass. McEwen forced it. She puts the layup. It's good. Dolphins on an 8-0 run.
Yeah, nice job. The Dolphins starting to turn up the defensive pressure. And, when you talk to head coach Tim Shatterhead last year, he would always tell you everything with this team starts with defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And it forces the Bears to call for timeout, a 30-second timeout. Here's the Dolphins starting to get their pace back on an 8-0 run. The Bears have misfired on their last 4 shots down the floor as well. And so far, Mike, early stages, a couple of maybe nerves. Dolphins making a couple of subs. Kayla Schmitter playing well in her first action. What do you think of the first 6+ minutes?
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of positive things for the Dolphins. Again, you're not going to get all the answers in the first 6 minutes of the first quarter, but you have to like some of the things you're seeing early on. And, for the returning players, they're going to need an opportunity to be more comfortable with the responsibilities they're going to have this year. And, for the freshman players, it's their first time doing everything, but you got to like the way that they've started here so so far tonight.
Another turnover forced by the Dolphins once again via the press. Dolphins will have to slow things down this time, but it's Rybicki with the extended dribble, gets it over to Schmitter. Schmitter looking inside, and Bessie feeds over to McEwen. McEwen, long-range three, no good. Tadaro with the offensive rebound. Back to McEwen. Dolphins reset, 10 on the shot clock. Schmitter inside, turning towards the goal. It's in. Schmitter with 6.
How long, Dave, has it been since the Dolphins had a player that you could pound the ball inside to? We've just seen it play for a couple of minutes, but we've already seen him make a couple of very strong moves right to the basket. And at 6 feet tall, that is really something that the Dolphins have been longing for.
Yeah, and Schmitter, obviously a big presence inside. Dolphins knew she was going to be an outstanding player. They just wanted to know how long it was going to take for her to adapt, but hasn't taken that long at all, as Schmitter has 6 points. Meanwhile, we're going to have a foul on Megan McEwen here in the first quarter. That's her first. Bears will get themselves a fresh 30 as a result. O'Donnell will inbound to Casada. Casada giving it back over to Percassi. Percassi sees the ball a lot in her hands. Dishes over to O'Donnell. Back up to Percassi. Thought about the drive, gets it over to Provino. Provino hit the first 2 3-pointers of the game. And now we have a turnover as Casada turns it over via the travel.
Yeah, the Dolphins continuing to force the issue now. And, Dolphins committed a couple of early turnovers, picked up 4. The Bears now have surpassed them as they pick up their 5th.
Yep. Turnovers 5-4. It's where the Dolphins make a lot of their bread and butter via the turnover. One of the nation's best. Dolphins, after all of that, Schmitter gets it and gets the friendly roll off the top of the iron. And the Dolphins are now up by 4, 15-11, their biggest lead. It's a 12-0 run. And O'Donnell having some problems now, gives it over to Provino. Provino with some open room, now finds McEwen on top of her. That ball's out of bounds. Dolphins are really stepping it up pressure-wise on defense. Where they really made the Bears susceptible in their meeting last season. Won by the Dolphins. Long pass, top of the arc. Provino now gets the drive inside. Offensive foul called on Provino. And drawing it was Tadaro.
And Dave, Kayla Schmitter's been on the floor 4 minutes for the Dolphins. She's already 4 of 5 for 8 points, 2 rebounds, including 1 on the offensive end. So I'd say exciting start for the freshman player. And we went out to women's soccer last year, Dave, and we didn't know where the scoring was going to come from. And all of a sudden, Samantha Laval was there right in front of us. And, we might be seeing something similar here on the basketball court tonight.
Yeah, with so many players leaving as McEwen drives in. Off the feet from Schmitter, it's good. And the Dolphins lead 17-11. But, Mike, you mentioned with all the absence of the players, kind of an open casting call for whoever is really going to take the lead and assume big minutes, and Schmitter's stepping up in that regard. Scrambling to get the ball with Sakara. She does lose it. Last touch by the Dolphins. As the Bears able to retain possession. Percassi with the ball. Steps back. Pops a 3. It's good. Nothing but net. And that was big time needed by the Bears as Victoria Percassi ends a 14-0 CSI run.
Yeah, it was a nice run by the Dolphins, and now the Bears looking to stabilize the game again. Let's see how the Dolphins respond.
McEwen handed that one off to Mbesi, and the Dolphins with another offensive foul. It's going to be on Tadaro, I believe. That'll be her second.
That's a huge foul, Dave, on the Dolphins, because that will be Diana's second, and she might now have to come out of the game. So that would be 2 fouls now on Tadaro and Perrone, 2 plays that got themselves in foul trouble last year.
Meanwhile, touchdown pass down low, 2-on-1, and we're going to have a travel violation on Caitlin Staub, who's had a first quarter to forget for the Bears. Lena Batar will come in for the Dolphins, replacing Tadaro. And so far in this first quarter, we've played 9 minutes and 2 seconds. Megan McEwen has played the whole way. Brianna Rybicki has played the whole way. And Tadaro just sees her first substitution of the game. This is Kayla Schmitter. Back to Batar, her first touch of the season. Up to Rybicki. Thought about a 3. Drives inside, and she gets fouled going up. That'll be against O'Donnell. And for O'Donnell, that will be her first.
You know, Dave, we saw flashes offensively from Brianna in her freshman year, but of course, you know, she was expected to assist very limitedly offensively with last year's team. This year, the Dolphins going to look for a little more as she misses the first free throw.
This is an area where she struggled last year. She did get to the line 33 times, only 19 of 33. That's 58%. She's looking to split one of two. She does. Gives the Dolphins back a 4-point lead, 18-14, with under 40 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Controlling is Sakara, looking down low on the baseline. Foul whistled against the Dolphins. That one nearly went in, but Sakara will have two shots. As whistled for the foul was Schmitter, and it will be Percassi to the line.
Yeah, I thought Kayla was in pretty good position on that one. The official disagreed, so it'll lead to a couple of bad free throws.
St. Joe's was a pretty good free throw shooting team last year, and Percassi was one of the reasons why. 76%. She went to the line. She had 118 shots from the free throw line. Second of two. No good off the back iron. So only one of two. Dolphins lead cut to 3. See the time on your screen indicates seconds and milliseconds. Shot clock is off. Rubisky with 14. And now McEwen. Thumbs up is the sign. Batar sets a screen. Given tied to Schmitter. Schmitter gets it in the foul. Kayla Schmitter with 10 points.
You have to really smile, Dave, when you think of the power that she showed, taking the ball inside. And we're talking about a player that's playing in her first game, came in off the bench, and already has 10 points.
Last attempt here, 3-point goal, no good off the glass by Sakara. So we are at the end of the first quarter of play. The CSI Dolphins leading St. Joseph's College of Brooklyn 20-15. We will step aside, take a break. When we come back, more CSI Dolphins action right here from CSI Sportsnet. Stick around.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? And you know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Morning, Gary.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to the Tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. The CSI Dolphins up 20-15 here as we get set for the second quarter of action. Dolphins were down 11-3 in the early stages. Have since taken a 5-point lead. Dolphins will have the ball first here in the second quarter. They'll get things started here with Megan McEwen assuming controls. And we have a quick whistle here on the floor as looks like the clock might not have started in time. Now they get things sorted out. Possession arrow was the issue. Dolphins will get it in to Jacqueline Calley. Back to Rubisky. Starting to run a little point here. Rubisky listed as a forward, but has the ball in her hands very often. Looking inside, and Bessie finds a wide open McEwen for 3. No good. Missed it off the back iron, and it's O'Donnell with the rebound. Kelly O'Donnell, the Bears' leading scorer from a season ago, 17.8 points per game. She does not have a point here in the first quarter plus. Bears will send it around. This is O'Donnell for three. Speak of, she misses it off the front iron. Corralled by Callie. Callie to Robisky. Robisky has a shot blocked inside, but unable to control was Percassi. The Dolphins will get the ball back with 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Back into the game is Lauren Casada. Robisky will do the inbounding, looking for help. That one was tipped, and it's picked off by the Bears. Casada got in front of it. The dish over to O'Donnell. Offensive foul on Kelly O'Donnell. I'm not sure about that one, Mike. O'Donnell, I think, has some gripes there.
Yeah, it was a close call, and that one went against the Bears. So played about a minute here in the second quarter, still looking for our first points.
So Dolphins still with a 5-point lead. McEwen on the Dolphins' possession here. Callie, top of the key. Schmitter showing inside. Elects to dish it over to McEwen. McEwen gives a thumbs-up signal. Barks out the play. Under 10 on the shot clock. McEwen going in. And we have a blocking foul that will be called on Desiree Sequeira. That will be her first, I believe that might be her second personal. It is. So 2 quick fouls on Sequeira. 5'5" sophomore. Dolphins with a fresh 30. McEwen. Travel by Megan McEwen. She had to think twice on that pass to Schmitter inside. A little bit of a sidestep. We got a wonderful crowd that has really gotten over to our right as we have a foul whistled against Megan McEwen, and I believe that will be her second. McEwen with 6 points, picks up her second foul. O'Donnell will do the inbounding as they remove some debris from off the court. McEwen is yet to come off the floor for the Dolphins. She's played the entire way, but she is now playing with 2 fouls. O'Donnell, the inbounder, playing with 2 as well for the Bears. Sequeira has the initial control. Moves it around to O'Donnell. Sequeira gets it back, but now she travels. Another turnover for St. Joseph's. Turnovers now, that's their 9th of the game. Dolphins have 7 themselves.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers here for both teams early in the game as we have a whistle out on the floor as we have a clock issue that'll be addressed.
Everybody has nerves on the first day, Mike, including the staff, and our scorekeepers have been a little late with the clock on a couple of brief occasions here, but still looking for our first points of the second quarter. Dolphins entered it with a 5-point lead. It's been idle since. Schmitter to McEwen, drops off to Mbesi, to Callie. Callie for 3, no good. It's spun in and out. Sequeira losing it to Mbesi. Mbesi turns around. She's fouled by Sequeira, and that'll be Sequeira's 3rd personal foul.
Yeah, that's a big personal foul for the Bears, but Jackie Callie missed that shot. You know, Jackie, one of the returning plays that Dolphins are going to be counting on a lot this year and looking to get going here in this first game.
The Dolphins with a fresh 30. St. Joe's brought in Provino as that ball was kicked right on the inbound. Provino checked in for Sequeira, who picked up her 3rd foul. Dolphins will inbound this time from the sideline. Robisky once again. She has not come off the floor for the Dolphins. Wearing a familiar number, number 14. That number was worn by Victoria Cray the last few years. Robisky wore 11 last year. Switching things up as the Dolphins have new uniforms. They give inside to Schmitter. Almost lost it. Dropped it off to Callie for the assist. And Callie with her first points gives the Dolphins their biggest lead. Dolphins again applying pressure. Now they take it off as this will be Percassi now to slow things down. Working against Mbesi. Percassi finds the corner, turns around, 3-pointer, no good. Mbesi gets the rebound. Mbesi playing well defensively. Megan McEwen drops off behind the back to Callie. Callie drives inside, losing it on the way up. It will remain CSI's ball as Bears do a good job stripping it. And the Dolphins will get a couple of new players into the game. Devin Mooney and Christina Camerlengo, a pair of first-year players. Mooney, a 5'6" freshman from Susan Wagner. Camerlengo, 5'6" freshman from Susan Wagner. They've paired up before. Callie drives inside. No good. She was fouled. Take your pick. In the neighborhood was Casada and Staub.
Yeah, nice aggressive move by Jackie that time as she faked the ball to the outside, took it to the basket, and drew the foul, so she will go to the line now to shoot 2.
Staub with her second personal. Callie at the line. No good on the first.
Yeah, she really struggled from the free throw line last year, Dave, shooting just 42%.
And although she's 0 for 2 tonight, she's a very good three-point shooter. One of the best on either one of CSI's teams, men or women. But she has had her struggles from the line. She does split the pair. Gives the Dolphins their biggest lead, 23-15. Now driving baseline. Nice move and up and in for Lauren Casada. Since the early stages, the Dolphins were outscoring St. Joe's 20-4 until that last basket by Casada. This is Callie now. Thought about a 3. Drops the shoulder, opts out. Now to McEwen. 13 on the shot clock. Plenty of time. Moving to her left is McEwen. Drops off to Schmitter. Extended free throw is good by Schmitter.
She hits from the inside, and now she steps back to the free throw line and gets another basket. Leads all scorers now with 12.
She has looked excellent in every way. Now playing defense. Body up top. Nice layup there by Lauren Casada, and it looks like CSI wants a 30-second timeout. Dolphins have gotten beaten inside the last couple of drives, Mike. You would think Nicole Sarcone might want to talk about her team, and that's why the timeout.
Yeah, you got to really like the way the Dolphins have played since falling behind early in this game. They've come up. They've really tightened things on the defensive end, and they've become much more effective on the offensive end as well. And, they are outscoring the Bears in the paint 16-4, and, that's traditionally been a huge problem for the Dolphins. So a lot of positives for the Dolphins here in the early going. And, they're going to look to continue to build on that momentum here with just over 6 minutes remaining here in this first half.
Yeah, so it took a while for both teams to get on the register here in the second quarter. Score was locked at 20-15 for some amount of time. Dolphins briefly outscoring St. Joe's here in this quarter, 5-4. But they've had the lead since going on a big 14-0 run that took over an 11-3 deficit. Jackie Callie left open for 3. That's dangerous. She misses again. Schmitter with the rebound. Layup was blocked. And St. Joe's takes over. Caitlin Staub with the block and the rebound. And it looks like it will be against Camerlengo. Getting out of the press that time was Perkazi. Nice job there. Dishes off. And now a double dribble was called on Casada. So teams swap turnovers here. Turnovers are 10-7. St. Joe's with 10. Now running a little bit of point is Devin Mooney. The give back up top to Callie. Mooney asking for the ball. She does get it back. Mooney, Camerlengo, and Schmitter. The 3 freshmen with Callie and Mbesi, the seniors. Mbesi over to Camerlengo. 3 on the shot clock. Schmitter needs to put it up. She does. We have a 42. Looks like it's going to be Camerlengo again with the foul. That's her second quick one. So St. Joe's gets it back. Errant pass picked off. Callie with the direct layup. She wanted a call, wasn't going to get it. And back the other way comes St. Joe's, looking to run things. And inside, Casada with another layup. That's her 3rd in a row for St. Joe's. She's got 6 points.
Yeah, she was able to get to the basket way too easy on that one, Dave.
Double dribble called on Jackie Callie, who's had a tough first half here for the Dolphins. So Jackie Callie 1 for 5 from the floor, 1 for 2 from the line. She's turned the ball over a couple times. Dolphins once again pressing, but breaking it was Percassi. Percassi steps back, long range 2, it's good.
Yeah, so the Bears now starting to heat up as the Dolphins start to cool down a little bit, and they made it a 2-point game.
Yeah, back to it being a game again. Dolphins looked like they were threatening to run away with it. Callie splits the defense, but she was hacked. It's like Provino might get called for this one as she got into it a little bit late defensively. And indeed it will be on Provino. Provino, her third.
Yeah, the Bears starting to accumulate a lot of fouls here, Dave. It's still 4.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, so now Provino picked up her third just now as Callie misses the free throw. She's now 1 for 3. And 2 each for Staub, O'Donnell, and Sakara. And Provino's going to come out and give way to Sakara, who has 2 herself. Actually, she has 3 fouls, Mike. Second free throw is good. Our live stats have her with 2, but she indeed has 3, and we've mentioned 3 for her. So O'Donnell controls. Dolphins up by only 3 here. And O'Donnell, who's yet to get on the register, drops it off. She gets the ball back. Up top. Now the give inside. Stolen by Callie. Great job by Jackie Callie interrupting that pass. Callie shuffling, gets it down low to Mbesi. Mbesi was fouled by O'Donnell. And if that's on O'Donnell, that's her 3rd personal.
Boy, that would be a huge foul here, Dave. And it is going to be on O'Donnell. So another Bear player picking up their 3rd personal foul. And, you know, Dave, we look at the Bear roster, there's only 10 players on it. So, you know, they're starting to find themselves in major foul trouble.
All right, so Mike, with that timeout, we will step aside. When we come back, more Dolphins action from right here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. It's the Dolphins 26 and the Bears 23. Stay with us.
When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke.
I'm Paul George, and I want you to spot a stroke fast.
F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911.
Protect the ones you love.
Spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to the Sports and Recreation Center here at the campus of the College of Staten Island. The Dolphins with a 26-23 lead here with 3:57 remaining in the second quarter. The Dolphins were down by 8 early. They assumed as much as an 8-point lead, and since then have settled into a 3-point edge.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, for the first game of the year, very entertaining. Both teams coming out, playing real hard, and you know, we're getting an opportunity to see a lot of these Dolphins, obviously, for the first time, and a lot of these Dolphins in new roles for the first time. And, you know, so far, a lot of positives out on the floor for CSI.
And Bessie makes the first. She's a very good free throw shooter as well for the Dolphins. Her first points of the season and her second points of the season give the Dolphins back a 5-point lead. Now running it up the floor is Sakara. Sakara opts over to Casada. Now to Percassi, who's being worked on by McEwen. Once again, they work it around. Dolphins doing well to tighten up inside, not allowing the Bears entry. Staub gives it over for a 3-point attempt for Sakara. She misses, and the Dolphins now will return to the offense.
Yeah, Perot checked back into the game for the Dolphins, grabbing that rebound.
Callie controls. Gives it over to McEwen. Dolphins want to reset. We've seen a lot of this from the Dolphins, pulling it back. Rosa Perone, who had checked in the game, drops it off to Callie. Mbesi to Perone, off the glass, too strong. And the rebound finally corralled by Staub. 3 minutes now remaining in the first half. Once again, it's Quesada looking to work inside. Can't get it there. Gets it over to Staub. Staub, no good. Rebound by Mbesi. Dolphins now looking to run the other way. Callie stops. Was looking for the cross-court pass. Now holds things up here for McEwen. McEwen inside to Schmitter. Spits the defense and puts it up and in.
Nice soft hands on the catch. Nice soft hands laying it up. 14 of the 30 points for the Dolphins from the freshman.
So the Dolphins up by 7 now. Their biggest lead has been 8. Splitting the defense and driving in and getting the layup was Sakara. Nice job by Desiree Sakara, sidestepping a couple of defenders on her way in.
Beautiful move by the sophomore that time to make it a 5-point game.
This is McEwen now, right side, left open for 3. It's good.
Big three-pointer there by Megan McEwen. She was only 10 of 43 from the three-point line last year. Hits a big one to match the Dolphins' biggest lead.
So first three-pointer of the game for the Dolphins, who are 0 for their first 4. This is O'Donnell now. Short jumper, offensive foul, and O'Donnell, that'll be number 4.
Wow, you got to be short on the bench to leave your leading scorer in, Dave, with 3 fouls in the first half. And if you're going to do it, you got to count on the player not to get herself in a compromising position. That time it was kind of a 50-50 call. It clearly looked like an offensive foul. She'll be on the bench for a while.
So Samantha Wilbur will come on here, undoubtedly for the final couple of minutes of this first half at least. Open was Perrone, inside, can't get the roll. Nice pass by Callie as the entry. And the Dolphins lead holds at 8. It's their biggest of the game. They've had it once before. Sakara, who's also playing with 3 fouls, pops it over to Wilbur, her first offensive touch. Back to Sakara, almost intercepted by McEwen. 3-pointer by Percassi, no good. And Rosa Perrone gets the rebound. Her pass was interrupted, gets it back. McEwen attacking the D, drops off for Callie, thought about a 3, rethinks it, drives inside, gains the lane, off the glass, and in.
Yeah, so that time Callie took the ball to the basket strong, and the Dolphins have their biggest lead of the night.
1 minute remaining in the first half, 1 minute. Dolphins up by 10. It's their biggest lead of the game. They've trailed by as many as 8. So an 18-point swing since the early stages. Sakara to Staub. Staub gains the lane via Perrone, and she got fouled heading into the baseline. And we'll see who this call is on. Jackie Callie was in the area. So was Perrone, who has 2. And it will be on Callie. It's her first. St. Joe's is not in the bonus, so instead they'll get a fresh 30. Percassi trying to gain entry, and that one left her fingertips. Last touch by Staub. So the Dolphins will have a fresh 30 with 34.4 remaining. And Nicole Mbesi will get things started here. McEwen. Dolphins can't hold for the last shot, but pretty close to it. About a 3-second differential between game and shot clock. Callie with 18 on the shot gives the thumbs up sign. Dolphins already with their biggest lead. This is Callie now, sidestepping to the left, gaining the lane, and she is swatted down by Percassi, who wants to send things up the court. 5 seconds remaining in the first half. Percassi spins in the lane, off the glass, no good. Ooh, and we have a collision there between Perrone and number 22, Lauren Quesada. The final shot was no good. And Mike, after all of that scuffle, the Dolphins will go into halftime with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, I thought Percassi was fortunate not to get called for a carry on that possession, so she was able to take the ball to the basket, get the shot to the rim, and Rosa Perrone coming up big on the defensive rebound end once again as the half expires and the Dolphins go into halftime with their biggest lead of the game, 35-25.
All right, so the Dolphins, who trailed early in this one, managed to work themselves back and now will take a 10-point lead going into halftime. So with that in mind, Mike and I will take a break here as we've reached the midway point. The Dolphins 35, the Bears 25. When we come back, we'll break down the first half of action, and we'll get you started for the second half right here live from the tank. Game 1 of a CSI season opening doubleheader right here. The Dolphins lead by 10. Stay with us.
got a creak in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. Better than the ones get on. But if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends.
Come on in!
Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, you know, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Right.
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
I got a creak in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. Better than the ones get on. But if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. Then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing, like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back here to the Tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. We have about 7.5 minutes here in halftime. The CSI Dolphins down 11-3 early, came back and are now up by their biggest margin of the game, 35-25 here at halftime. So, you know, Mike, the first initial stages, maybe the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game, the Dolphins were down. We kind of exchanged a couple looks like, oh boy, we could be in a little bit of trouble here. The offense was kind of sputtering, but enter Kayla Schmitter, and she really helped turn this game around. Dolphins found some offense. They've played better defense. They've forced a ton of turnovers, and they have a 10-point lead to show for it.
Yeah, you know, they really started to turn things around after those first couple of minutes, Dave, like you mentioned. But when Kayla Schmitter checked into the game, she really helped turn things around for the Dolphins. She's 7 of 10 from the floor already. She's already grabbed 4 rebounds. She has 14 points and an assist, as well as you know, an assist on a block shot. So she's really played well for the Dolphins. And, you know, what she gives CSI, Dave, is a little bit of size on the inside. And later in that first half, head coach Nicole Sarcone had both Rosa Perone and Kayla Schmitter on the bench, Dave. And when was the last time the Dolphins had 2 players over 6 feet on the floor at the same time, especially one that's shown the kind of hands and touch that Schmitter has shown here in the first half?
It's been a real treat to see as we take a look at the halftime statistics on your screen. Those numbers, you know, at one point St. Joe's had a very heavy shot advantage. I think it was like 10-4 in the early stages. Dolphins have taken now 4 more shots. You can see the percentages are okay for both teams, but the Dolphins just getting more opportunities. They haven't taken a lot of threes. St. Joe's has. They've cooled down considerably there. St. Joe's hasn't been able to get to the free throw line. The Dolphins have. They've done an adequate job. Rebounds are dead even. And, Mike, that last line, the turnovers, really tell a lot of the story, especially when the Dolphins started to make that big run.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, if I'm not mistaken, the Dolphins had 4 out of the first 5 turnovers of this game. So since that time, it's been 14-4 in the turnover department as the Dolphins have been able to turn up the defensive intensity a little bit and really force St. Joe's to start to make some mistakes. And, you know, if you're the Bears here, Dave, and you're going into this second half, you know, they're looking at players. They have one player, Kelly O'Donnell, their leading scorer, with 4 personals already. Jamie Pavano with 3 personals and a couple other players with 2. And so they find themselves in a little bit of foul trouble. The Dolphins have 4 players with 2 personal fouls, but that's the extent of their foul trouble in the first half.
Yes, the Dolphins looking in good shape. St. Joe's has been able to claw their way back. The last time they were down by 8, they managed to make it a 3-point game. We'll see what they have in store for us here in foul trouble in the second half, but the Dolphins for now a 10-point lead. You wouldn't know it from the screen, Mike, but we've got a great crowd here. You know, at CSI, we have a full attendance on both sides to our right and left. It's just a shame we can't really show you what's collected behind us, but it's been a nice spirited crowd here for opening day and a lot of excitement coming into the season, Mike. I think sparked even more by the performances we've seen from some of these young kids.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt about it. And, you know, not only do we have the excitement of seeing the women's team for the first time here today, but we have a huge game coming up in the second half of our doubleheader as the men will face Montclair State. And, you know, the men obviously coming off of their CUNYAC championship and their NCAA appearance. So a lot of excitement here at the Tank here tonight.
All right, and this is game one of a CSI doubleheader. Coming up in game two, it will be the CSI men's team against Montclair State University. Just a programming note, as far as we're concerned, we will go off the air at the end of this game, and then our viewers will have to physically go back to CSI Dolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet and check out the CSI men's game as well, a completely separate broadcast. So this broadcast will shut down, and of course on the landing page of CSI Sportsnet, our second game will get started. Mike Babusky will have the call there. So we have about 3 minutes to go before the third quarter gets started from right here live at the Tank. So Mike and I will step aside. When we come back, third quarter tip-off right here from the Tank. It's the Dolphins 35 and St. Joe's 25. Stay with us.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking, now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Listen to me. I am captain of the track team. And if I'm late,
she doesn't really think she's going to get out of here, does she?
Be nice. She's new. Hello, is anyone there? Ugh!
Wow. Even from our standards, you look awful.
Oh, sweetie, what happened? Me? My friend Becky got to talk to this super cute boy, and I tried to act like I wasn't jealous, but I so totally was. And then out of nowhere, this concrete barrier just popped up. Maybe it was a semi. You mean you were driving? Yeah. I mean, I know the whole eyes on the road thing, but this was a super important text. Maybe you have to know, Becky.
Texting? Great.
But it was only like 5 seconds, and I'm a really, really fast texter, so it wasn't even a big deal. Actually, has she texted me back yet? Wow, I get like no bars in this place. I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta try a little harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
Welcome back here to the Tank at the campus of the College of Staten Island. The Dolphins down by 8 early, up by 10 here at halftime. Players are making their way back onto the floor. CSI cheerleaders are making their way back to the sideline. We're getting set for quarter number 3. We want to thank all of our listeners and viewers in attendance tonight, including my wife Jennifer at home. And I want to say hello to my children, Liliana and Sabrina. Liliana, Mike, is running for school secretary tomorrow, so I want to wish her the best of luck. She's making a big speech. 'Tis the season for elections, and my vote goes for just one. It's for Liliana Pizzuto for secretary.
You know, and I second that, Dave, and I thought election season was over and we wouldn't have to electioneer, but we'll electioneer here one last time.
Absolutely, and want to wish her the best of luck. And St. Joe's will have possession first in this third quarter. Dolphins will go out with Perrone, McEwen, Tadaro, Callie, and Rabisky. Their normal 5 starters. And we have a shot clock that did not start. Rust is coming off here. Breaking in a new crew across the table from us. Couple of familiar faces down there, but want to say hi to, give a shout out to all of our many staff workers. Year to year, their faces change, but they do a fantastic job. In the middle of it all is the public address announcer, Joe Foreman, who's usually on these broadcasts with you, Mike, but he's using his voice in other ways tonight.
And sitting right next to our man, Tom Koskowski, of course, Samantha Flecker, one of the top CSI women's basketball players from last year. So both Christina Passatoro on as an assistant coach and Samantha working on the business side of the athletic department.
With the shot clock winding down, St. Joe's misses their jumper now inside Tadero, missing the layup. And it looks like Tadero is going to get whistled for another foul. That will be another foul on Diana Tadero.
And that'll be her third, Dave. So, she first missed the layup and then picked up kind of an offensive foul you're not really looking for early in the third quarter.
Yeah, so that is her third, like you mentioned. So we're still 35-25 here, early stages, third quarter. Game could still go either way. We'll see what kind of start we have. A missed three by Provino, who's made a couple of three-point baskets tonight. Callie over to McEwen, opts out of an open three, losing possession. Skipped off of her fingertips and into the hands of Caitlin Staub. So Staub gets it over to Sakara. We did go over the fouls at halftime, and Sakara only does have the 2 fouls, Mike. We thought she had 3, but for those of you watching at home, Sakara with just the 2. They had reset the shot clock, and it should not have been reset. So what happened was, looked like Sakara might have lost it momentarily, but was able to get it back. So rather than a reset, there'll be 10 left on the shot clock. Seems reasonable enough. A little bit of a sloppy start here for both teams.
Yeah, played just over a minute and a half, Dave. Still looking for our first points here in the second half. And this is a Dolphin team that averaged just under 78 points a game. So they've been very effective offensively last year.
Shot clock winding down, and we will have a shot clock violation as Sakara was not aware that her team was running out of time there. So as a result of that reset back to 10, benefits the Dolphins. Megan McEwen will control. Rabisky up top to Perrone. Perrone hasn't had a lot of offensive touches in this game. Callie barking out signals. Gets to McEwen. McEwen for 3. It's good. Nothing but net from Megan McEwen.
Yeah, so Megan's now hit her last couple of three-point attempts, and the Dolphins have their biggest lead of the game.
Yep, the lead is 13. It was 10.
That was sorry, Dave. That was one of the first points of the third quarter.
Yeah, Dolphins started the game 0 for 4 from the three-point line. They're 2 for their last 2. Sakara thought about a 3, gives it back over to Casada. She fires a 3, no good. Tadaro gets the rebound, and she wants to slow things down. Tadaro looks to her right, passes off to McEwen. McEwen getting the signals from Sarcone on the bench. Rabisky fires inside to Tadaro, back to Callie. Callie for 3, no good, front iron. Long rebound, won by St. Joe. Sakara, she was interfered with by Perrone.
Yeah, and that's, the second foul that the Dolphins have picked up here in the third quarter. And, really neither foul was the one you were looking for. And for both players, Tadaro and Perrone, it's their third personal foul.
So they spent a lot of time on the bench in the first half due to foul trouble, and it takes only 2.5 minutes to get more there. So 3 each for Tadaro and Perrone. They stay in the game for now. Casada for 3, no good. Long rebound, won by Pervino. And we're going to have a whistle as... Not sure what happened. The shot clock again.
Yeah, it was another clock issue here, Dave. So officials showing a little bit of patience, and the Bears inbound the basketball.
And so we have Sakara now controlling for St. Joe's. Essentially a fresh shot clock. Losing control, picking it up is Perrone. Nice job by Perrone as she got tangled up with Percassi. This is McEwen. McEwen, no looker. Now the inside give. Tadaro ends up with it, but now wants to reset. We've seen a lot of this from the Dolphins. Not used to seeing it under Tim Shanahan. Usually it's one direction, north to south, and that's it. After the turnover, off the glass, no good by Sakara, and we're going to have a whistle. And it's going to be a foul, offensive foul called against Casada.
And a nice job that time by Callie, Dave, to hustle back on defense, force that miss. As we've only had one basket scored here in the second half. That three-pointer by Megan McCune.
Second foul for Casada. Now on the baseline's Perrone, off the glass, a little too strong, and getting the rebound is Percassi. She's able to wiggle out of traffic. Percassi taking it now coast to coast. Up top, interfered with, almost picked off by McEwen. Now the baseline three attempt, no good by Percassi. Tripped up was McEwen. They scramble for the ball. McEwen gets it back from Perrone. McEwen from the free throw line, no good. Offensive rebound, Tadero. McEwen again. Dolphins again taking their time. Dolphins pitching a shutout here in the second half, but they've only scored 3 points themselves. McEwen another three, no good. And Casada gets the rebound. Casada inside, weaving through traffic. Layup no good by Staub. Now a wide open three for Pervino, no good. And McEwen gets the rebound. Both teams ice cold from the floor here in the second half. Inside give, Tadaro, she's fouled hard, I believe by Casada. Casada gives a long look to Caitlin Staub. I believe that was her player or her responsibility underneath, but Tadaro will go to the free throw line.
You know, Dave, the Bears hit 3 out of their first 5 3-point attempts. Since then, just 1 of 10.
Tadaro, as Mike mentioned earlier, good free throw shooter, 70% last season for the Dolphins. And as is the custom, I jinx everybody at the line. I hold true to form. One thing I'm good at when I'm on the mic, Mike. 23, Samantha Wilbur has come back in for Casada. Just a word of note, Kelly O'Donnell continues to sit the bench for St. Joseph's. 4 fouls for Kelly, no points. After leading St. Joe's last year, 17.8 points per game. She's yet to register a 2018-19 point. Meanwhile, the Dolphins up by their biggest amount, 14 points, 39-25. They've scored the only 4 points of this quarter. 3-point goal, and they needed that one. That was Victoria Percassi, the senior for St. Joseph's, gives them their first points of the third quarter. McEwen gives over to Callie. McEwen again, Callie. Deep 3-point range. In the corner, Robisky for 3, no good. Long rebound, won by Percassi. Percassi looking for help. McEwen's hand in her face, gives over to Sakara for 3. And St. Joseph's has hit on their last 2 3-pointers. And they break down the Dolphins' lead to just 8, 39-31, as Nicole and Bessie was getting set to check back in. And Mike, this is going to be a full timeout, so we will step aside, take a break. 4:25 left, third quarter. Dolphins lead by 8, 39-31. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Women's Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Welcome back to the tank here. The CSI Dolphins leading by 8, 39-31. Mike, just a couple of blinks ago, they were up by 14. Couple of straight threes here for St. Joe's.
Yeah, you know, Dave, the Dolphins took a 39-25 lead with 4:57 remaining here in the third quarter. But in the span of 32 seconds, the Bears were able to hit back-to-back three-pointers after missing 10 of their previous 11 attempts to cut a 14-point lead down to 8. Let's see how the Dolphins could respond now as the Bears try to work themselves back into the game.
So the substitution for the Dolphins, Nicole Mbesi, has come into the game. She will work with Robisky, Tadaro, McEwen, and Perrone. I don't believe St. Joe's has made a sub. They did not. So McEwen will control here for CSI. Dolphins work it around the horn. Now Perone, a long two-pointer, air ball, no good. Rubisky had a chance to catch up to that one, but sees it go out of bounds.
Yeah, so the Dolphins' offensive struggles continue here in the third quarter. Just one basket through nearly the first 6 minutes.
And through the first 6 minutes, we've yet to see Kayla Schmitter, as we have a whistle here and a timeout called by St. Joseph's College. And now they're down to their final 2 timeouts.
Yeah, nice defense that time by the Dolphins, forcing the Bears to take a timeout I'm sure they'd rather not take. So Dolphins defense forces the Bears to take a turnover here.
Yeah, so the Dolphins will try to use this break here. Once again, they were putting pressure on the inbounds. It's where the Dolphins have been very successful here tonight, that defensive pressure. Dolphins were among the nation's leaders last year in turnovers forced. And they've picked up right where they've left off here tonight. They have forced 17 St. Joseph's turnovers. And Dolphins have 17 points off of those turnovers. They're a +10 in that category. So it definitely leads to good things when you're able to force some turnovers. Dolphins have tonight. And they do again. McEwen, but she stepped out. And it'll continue to be St. Joe's ball.
Yeah, that was a nice job that time by Megan. And you mentioned that positive statistics with the points off turnovers. Dolphins also doing well with points in the paint, outscoring St. Joe's 20-8, but no points in the paint here in the third quarter.
So St. Joe's able to break the press, and there's a short jumper, no good. Rebound by Perone, off the miss by Percassi. McEwen back at it to Rubisky. Rubisky is going to turn the ball over via the travel.
So another turnover there for the Dolphins. That's going to be their 11th of the game.
Rubisky had a quiet first half, 0 for 2 from the floor in 7 minutes. And there is a long three-pointer by Wilbur, no good. Long rebound, one by Rubisky. Rubisky looking for some white jerseys, finds Perone, inside give to Tadero. Second time around, works for Diana.
Good stick-to-itness that time by Tadero to open the Dolphin lead back to 10. But now we're going to have a backcourt foul committed by Rubinski, as the Dolphins will pick up their third team foul of this third quarter.
Dolphins back up by 10. Rubisky is called for the foul. It's her first. She was coming out of the game anyway. And it will be Devin Mooney coming back for the Dolphins. Mooney was in for just a couple of minutes in that first half, 3 minutes to be exact. She did not attempt the shot. -4 ±. Big time pressure by McEwen on Sequeira. She gives it over to Pervino. Pervino down to Staub. Staub turnaround, baby hook, no good. Perone with another rebound.
And nice defense on the shot by Perone as well.
Both teams struggling to score here in the third quarter. And Bessie, the give inside to Perone. Out of play. She was hit by Wilbur. Mbesi with 17 on the shot clock. Looking for some help, finding Tadaro. Turnaround in the lane, off the glass, it's good.
Yeah, so the Dolphins with a couple of back-to-back inside baskets, just what they needed to open the lead back to 12.
Yeah, back up by 12 after having the lead cut to 8. And now a foul on a three-point attempt. Percassi will go to the line to shoot 3. And it will be against McEwen. That'll be her third. Megan McEwen has not seen the bench at all tonight, Mike.
Yeah, you know, she's done a good job, and, you know, she's got to have a lot of responsibilities on her shoulder. And so far through this first game, she's been playing very well.
McEwen averaged 11.4 minutes per game in her freshman season, and she's played just under 28 here in the 2018-19 debut. Second free throw is up and good by Percassi. Percassi, one of 3 seniors on this Bears team. Dolphins also with 3 seniors. Perone and Bessie and Callie. Second of 3 is good. And so we're back to a 10-point game, 43-33. with about 2.5 remaining here in the third quarter. Low-scoring affair. Dolphins like it just fine. Perrone gets hit from behind by Wilbur, goes up, no good, but she will go to the free throw line.
And, you know, Rose has been getting bounced around pretty good on the inside on the last couple of possessions. Nice job keeping her composure, taking the ball to the other side of the basket, laying it up, missing the shot, but she'll get 2 free throws.
This is an area of Rose's game that she really wants to improve on. She hit on only 38% from the line, and she gets to the line quite often. She misses the first there, and then we'll have Kayla Schmitter returning for Diana Tadaro. Schmitter was the story in the first half for the Dolphins. Schmitter played 16 minutes and 53 seconds. She was 70% from the floor. She had 14 points in the opening stages. Perrone misses both ends of the 2-shot foul. So Dolphins lead holds at 10. Now a 3-pointer the other way. No good by Wilbur, and the Dolphins will have the benefits of the offensive rebound. McEwen to Schmitter. Drops off to Mbesi. Cross court, McEwen. Mooney, inside give Perrone. Foul. And Perrone, CSI not in the bonus yet. And Perrone and Sakara exchanging a couple of words, Mike.
Yeah, you know, again, it's been pretty physical in there. Both teams going at it hard. Nothing dirty, but good physical play.
Megan McEwen, open lane to the rim and scores the basket. Dolphins back up by 12 points.
Nice play off the inbounds that time by the Dolphins.
This is Provino now, her back towards goal. Porcasi interrupted by Perrone. There's the steal. Perrone, coast to coast, putting it up and in on the foul.
Boy, Rosa looking like a guard on that one, Dave. Taking the ball, stealing it right at midcourt, driving it to the basket, drawing the contact, and for really 3 times in a row, Dave, drawing a foul on the Bears.
Well, the Dolphins with a chance here to match their biggest lead. They're up by 14 now. No good. She's 0 for 3, but Schmitter goes over, gets the rebound. She's fouled on her way up. So the Dolphins putting enormous pressure on the offensive glass, and we'll see Schmitter at the line. Schmitter was 0 for 1 from the free throw line in the first half. Schmitter's first is up and in. So the Dolphins have matched their biggest lead, 15 points, 48-33.
Kayla's first free throw make as a Dolphin.
Second is good, and the Dolphins have their biggest lead. They led by 10 at the half, and they've held St. Joe's to just 8 points here on 2 field goals and 2 free throws. Inside give, Staub has her pass picked off. Another turnover for St. Joe's. McEwen lost it, but Mbesi was there to clean it up. Schmitter, Mbesi and McEwen resetting things up. The drop off to Mooney. It's a long range 2, no good. Long rebound 1 by Provino. Provino looking for some blue jerseys, looking for Staub inside. Pass too long, goes out of bounds. 20th turnover of the game for St. Joe's.
And, you know, Dave, if you go back to the first quarter, the Dolphins committed 4 out of the first 5 turnovers. Since then, it's 19-7 in the turnover department.
So Dolphins control, a chance to grow the lead here. Approaching 1 minute remaining in the third. McEwen sidesteps one defender, puts one up, no good. Rebound, 1 by Porcasi, and if that's on McEwen, that's going to be her 4th.
Yeah, that's a tough foul, Dave, in the backcourt. Not a lot of contact in a game where the officials have been allowing a lot of contact. Big foul on McEwen as she picks up a 4th, and she might have to come to the bench now.
Well, nobody getting up yet. There's only 58 seconds remaining in the quarter. And for Percassi, she's at the line once again here in the third. Makes the first. St. Joe's has 9 points in this quarter. 2 of them were by the 3-point goal, and the rest have been at the line here by Percassi. Camerlengo comes back in for CSI.
And McEwen checks out, Dave.
And McEwen out. Second free throw is good. CSI lead cut to 49-35. Controlling things is Mooney. Mooney gives up to Mbesi, back to Mooney, around the horn. Camerlango to Mooney, to Mbesi. Dolphins continuing to work strictly on the perimeter. Now they drop it inside. Schmitter from Perone, underhanded layup. It's good.
Boy, a lot of dexterity around the basket that time. As Schmitter now with 18 to lead all scorers.
St. Joe's did well not to foul her, Mike, but Schmitter found some sort of real estate in there, tiny window, and she made it happen. Almost picked off there. Percassi continues to hold. Inside give, wide open. Wilbur off the glass, no good. Errant rebound, won by Camerlango. Here's Camerlango, 3-on-2 the other way for the Dolphins. Shot clock off. Camerlango off the glass, no good. And the rebound skips over to Wilbur. St. Joe's can hold for the last shot. Down to Staub. Staub losing control, gives it over to Provino. Provino for two, no good. Rebounded by the Dolphins, and we go into the fourth quarter. CSI with their biggest lead, 51-35. We will step aside, take a break. When we come back, final quarter of action right here from the tank. CSI in control. Stay tuned. You're watching CSI women's basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back to the tank here. We are 3 quarters in the books, 25% left in this one. The Dolphins have themselves a comfortable 16-point lead, 51-35. It took both teams a lot of time coming out of the gate, Mike, to score, but the Dolphins did a really good job defensively. They held St. Joe's to 10 points in that third quarter.
Yeah, they really did do a good job, Dave. St. Joe's hit a couple of back-to-back three-pointers, but in a span of about 30 seconds, but only scored 4 points in the whole remainder of the quarter. Good swarming defense by the Dolphins. They've been doing a nice job moving the ball around. They've been very effective getting points in the paint. When was the last time the Dolphins outscored a good team 30-8, Dave, in points in the paint? We just never see it. And now the Dolphins, with their ability to put 2 players over 6 feet out on the floor, and Rose has been playing well. She's been playing tough, playing physical, drawing a lot of fouls, and Schmitter, the first time I've ever seen her play, you can't be anything but impressed, not only with the amount of points she scored, but the efficiency. 8 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 3 from the line, 5 rebounds, including 3 on the offensive end, and an assist, filling out a lot of lines on the box score.
Your point-scoring leaders, Kayla Schmitter, 18 for the Dolphins. Megan McEwen close behind with 14, as we have our first jumper is Perone's in the fourth quarter, and the Dolphins up by 18.
Good start as Rosa gets a basket for the Dolphins.
For St. Joe's, it's been Percassi with 16 points, almost half of St. Joe's production in this one. And she has control of the basketball here. Provino, the inside give, Casada. O'Donnell with a quick touch. She didn't play the entire third quarter. Like a shot clock violation might have been. Not quite sure what happened. 1 second is going to be placed on the shot clock. So O'Donnell will inbound. The Bears will have to just grab and shoot, and it will be done. That one did go off before the 30-second clock, but no good by Parchesi, and Schmitter turns it over. She wasn't expecting Provino to be there. Provino just got in the way of that one. O'Donnell for 3, looking for her first points. No good. Staub with the rebound. Back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell inside to Staub, interrupted by Perone, and she gets the steal.
Yeah, so the Bears with a couple of opportunities, Dave, can't take advantage of it and find themselves down 18.
Dolphins have their biggest lead of the game, looking to extend it. Mooney gives over to Mbesi. Mbesi driving the lane all the way inside, off the glass, no good. And it will be Percassi with the rebound. Percassi having a big statistical evening. And foul on Mooney. This will likely be her first. It is.
Yeah, that's a tough foul, Dave. Mooney was kind of just standing there playing defense, and the Bears player kind of just spun right into her, but nonetheless, she'll pick up her first personal.
Porcasi threads it inside and now outside to O'Donnell, and O'Donnell has finally got on the score, but actually she did have 2 before that and gets another 3 to go, so 5 points for O'Donnell, St. Joe's leading scorer from a season ago. Inside give, and Schmitter is able to convert off the feed from Camerlengo.
Yeah, and that's a big basket for the Dolphins to break the Bear momentum, and it's nice when you can pound the ball inside and lay it in from the paint.
Porcaro back towards the net, hits the front of the rim, no good. Schmitter gets another rebound. Mooney controls. Dolphins slows things down to run their half-court offense, and Bessie will work the controls. Gives over to Perrone. Perrone dribbling left side, and she's going to get hit by Caitlin Staub on the way in. For Staub, that'll be foul number 3.
Yeah, so both teams with 1 personal here through about 2.5 minutes of this fourth quarter. Dolphins with a big lead, and now they're in a position, Dave, where they can start to run their offense methodically, and with their size inside now with Perrone and Schmitter, try to close the possessions out inside the paint.
Camerlengo inside give to Perrone. Perrone, it's good. That give was actually by Mooney. The Dolphins up by 19 points. Reached that moment in the game where if St. Joe's wants to make a run at this, they need stops on every possession, and they need big-time points. Sakara round the horn. O'Donnell for 3. Perrone with a great box out, loses control, gets it back. Perrone looking for some family, finds Mooney. Mooney barking out the controls. 4 is the offensive play, the give inside. Schmitter losing control, and she's going to get fouled. And Schmitter able to get back up with a smile on her face. That's good news for all Dolphin fans. Foul was on number 5, Desiree Sakara. That's her 4th non-shooting.
Yeah, the Bears with no player on the floor with less than 3 personals and 2 with 4.
Turnaround baby jumper for Perrone. She saves it off of her own miss. Schmitter being fronted gives off to Mooney. Mooney back inside to Schmitter. Now to Camerlengo. Camerlengo barking out the offensive signals. And she's going to take it all the way in herself, off the glass, no good. Little too strong. And one by Sakara on the rebound. Another 3-point attempt by O'Donnell, no good. And a quick rebound by Mooney. Mooney will go the other way. Mooney will slow things down. Once again, barking out the play call. Camerlengo. Looking for Schmitter. Schmitter making some signs. She's going to get fouled by Casada. And for Casada, that will be her 4th.
And so now 3 players on the floor with 4 personals for the Bears and 3 true freshmen out on the floor, Dave, for the Dolphins.
Yes, sir. Alongside Nicole and Bessie and Rosa Perrone, 2 seniors. Porcasi will come back in.
Carl Mingo has been impressive as well, Dave. She's missed a couple of layups inside, but you have to like the way she's aggressively taking the ball to the basket in her first game.
Yeah, good work rate for Christina Camerlengo as well. Perrone puts up a jumper. It's short. Porcasi got the rebound. Now the give inside to Staub, and Staub is going to get fouled by Mooney. So going to the line will be Staub. Staub, one of 3 seniors on the team, makes the first. Staub last season averaged 6.4 points per game. Shot just 56% from the line, makes both here. And cuts the Dolphins' lead to 17. Just under 6 minutes to play. Reminder to everyone watching us, we hope that you'll stay with us throughout the evening as we have CSI men's basketball coming up next. Rosa Peron's jumper is off. Percassi gets the rebound. 2-on-1 the other way. Casada's pass, no good. Another turnover for St. Joe's. CSI men will play Montclair State University, a team receiving votes in the regional rankings preseason. Considered to be a very good team. And the Dolphins will have a big test coming right out of the gate. Dolphins trying to defend back-to-back championships. And they're going to be doing it with a team with no seniors this year, Mike.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that game, Dave, right after this one.
Three-pointer by Camerlengo, no good. But Tadero is there for the long rebound. Her pass almost picked off. Mbesi inside, and that one was interfered with. Kick ball was the call.
Boy, Dave, the Dolphins were fortunate on that one. That one hit a thigh.
Yeah.
It wasn't a kick ball. But again, if you're the Dolphins and you have 24 seconds on the shot clock and a 17-point lead, you don't have to force the issue to the basket if you don't have the clear path.
So Tadaro controls, and she is not sure what the call was here. I think that was another shot clock issue. May have been reset. St. Joseph's head coach is Tom Flahive, and he's very familiar with CSI. He spent some time as an assistant coach at the College of Staten Island under former head coach Marguerite Moran. Dolphins kicking around. Tadero almost lost it, turns around, puts it up, no good. Drop off to Callie. Callie's layup is good.
Nice job by Tadero to stick with it. Nice job by Callie to put herself in position to get the layup.
Dolphins match their biggest lead, 19 points. Percassi with the ball. Drops off inside to Staub. Staub was getting scratched at by Callie, and this will not be a shooting foul. It will be on Callie. It's her second.
You know, Dave, one thing you can always do is play good defense, and the Dolphins have continued to do that here tonight, even with a 19-point lead and just 4:25 remaining.
The give inside, Percassi, turnaround layup, no good. Callie gets the rebound. Dolphins at three-quarter speed up the floor. Callie will slow things down as we approach 4 minutes remaining in the game. Tadaro turnaround off the glass, no good. Out of bounds, last touch by St. Joe's. Caitlin Staub. Dolphins will get themselves a fresh 30.
Points in the paint, Dave, 36-8. Second chance points, 10-6. And if I'm not mistaken, Dave, St. Joe's had 4 or all 6 of those points in the first couple of minutes of the game.
Yeah, good point. Dolphins really limiting what St. Joe's has been able to do inside. Tadaro with a turnaround jumper. That's good. Dolphins with their biggest lead, 21 points.
As Diana hits double figures now with 10.
And if you're head coach Nicole Sarcone, maybe now's the time to start thinking about seeing some of the other young, fresh faces as O'Donnell puts a bucket in. Elena DeMontro has not played tonight. Visaja Watson has not played. Tracy Simon has not played. And Lola Plamenco has not played. Those are the only 4 Dolphins who haven't played. As Schmitter puts up a 3. No good. Tadaro runs down the rebound. What she does best. And Callie will reset.
Nice job by Jackie. Back the ball out. Run a little clock down as we're now inside of 3 minutes.
3 minutes remaining. As Mbesi stops, gives it over to Mooney. Mooney barks out the offensive signals as we approach 10 on the shot clock. Mooney dribbling all the way in from the right side, and she's thwarted by the bottom of the backboard as we have a jump ball, and it will be St. Joe's ball, and they'll get a fresh 30 here.
And, you know, again, Dave, Mooney didn't hit the layup, but you got to admire the aggressiveness of the freshman taking the ball right to the hoop.
Yeah, every possession matters when you're looking for time. Another turnover for St. Joe's. Here comes CSI down the other way. Tadaro with a short layup inside.
Back-to-back baskets by Tadaro as the Dolphins match their biggest lead of 21.
O'Donnell Gives over to Casada. Foul. That'll be on Schmitter. 2:20 remaining as Megan McEwen is getting set to check back in for the Dolphins along with Lola Plamenko. So one of 4 players who haven't gotten a minute coming out of the game is Mooney and Mbesi. So Lola Plamenko, 5'4" sophomore guard from Neudorf High School. Transfer student from the Dolphins. And Staub loses control to Tadaro. Here comes the Dolphins. 3-on-1 the other way, and Tadaro, she's okay. Got up a little bit limping there, but lost control. O'Donnell's shot goes in and out. And ball will be won by the Dolphins. Under 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, so the Dolphins have kind of wrapped this one up here, Dave, as we head into a couple of minutes of time to end the game here. But first we'll have a timeout. But, you know, we come into the season and, you know, every year is its own unique event. And, you know, I don't know how you come away with anything but positives here with the women's performance tonight, and a lot of excitement knowing that they're going to face a quality NYU team coming up here at the Tank this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's a good thing you mentioned that, Mike. While we have a full timeout on the floor, CSI women will be back in action on Sunday when they face NYU right here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, the Tank, as they like to call it. 1 o'clock start. Tip-off will be on the air at 12:45 for the pregame show and get you ready for CSI versus NYU. NYU dominating the series, but Dolphins taking that win last year over NYU in a game played at Hunter College while facilities improvements were being done to NYU, and so they will return the trip and will be right here at CSI. And so we got a lot of basketball here in the next couple of days as we'll see the men's team coming up shortly. Right now, approximate tip-off time for that looks to be about 7:35. As they'll put 25 minutes on the clock once these teams clear the floor.
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of excitement with the men's team. Christian Taylor back on the team. Adiola Latunji back for his second year as a CSI Dolphin. So a lot of excitement coming up. And just like the women's team, a lot of turnover for the men. And it'll be interesting to see how things shake out here later tonight.
Diana Tadaro drops it off to McEwen. McEwen giving over to Callie. 10 on the shot clock. Minute and a half remaining. Callie off the glass. No good. She was fouled by O'Donnell, and that'll be her 5th and final foul for O'Donnell.
Yeah, so I'm sure that O'Donnell didn't have the kind of night she was hoping for here, Dave, to start her season, finishing with just 7 points. Those all coming late in the game and 5 personal fouls, but an opportunity for Jackie Callie to go to the free throw line.
O'Donnell finishes her night 3 for 11 from the floor, 1 for 6 from downtown. She did have 3 rebounds, 6 turnovers, and a total of 7 points.
And the Bears going to the free throw line just 9 times all night here, Dave. So Dolphins doing a nice job defensively and not picking up fouls.
Callie's second free throw skips in. Dolphins with their biggest lead here in the fourth quarter. They led by 10 at the half, up by 23 currently. Wilbur with the three-pointer, no good over everything, but Prakazi is there. She was fouled, maybe on Plamenko, who sees herself get into the score sheet. And Porcasi, who has had a good game for St. Joe's, her stats will be a little lopsided. Only 4 for 14 from the floor, but the ball in her hands just about every single possession. She picked up 10 total rebounds, a couple of assists, a steal, a block, and now 17 points.
Yeah, you know, St. Joe's has a lot, several good players, Dave, in the starting lineup, but we mentioned they only have 10 players on the roster, and some of their players getting to early foul trouble really set them back a little bit. But, you know, a lot of credit to the CSI Dolphins who came out and have played great both offensively and defensively here tonight.
Mike, the 6'4" Tracy Simon has come into the game for the Dolphins. Minute and 10 remaining here. Simon has possession, drops off to McEwen. McEwen dribbling, baseline, off the glass and in.
And it's nice to see Tracy out on the floor for the Dolphins for the first time here tonight, and she's the third CSI Dolphin player over 6 feet tall, so this is going to be a little bit of a new-look team, Dave, with the ability to do some things that the teams in the past haven't necessarily had the size to do.
Absolutely. I mean, when you have size, that's already half the battle won. It almost becomes your sixth player on the floor, Mike, sometimes your seventh player on the floor, because it just tilts the court in your favor in so many different levels. And it's a mental thing as well with some teams, Mike. I mean, I would know getting prepared to face some other teams that are bigger, you kind of know, well, we're going to be small and we're going to have to scratch and claw. It's nice that the shoe might be on the other foot this time around.
Yeah, and you know what else is great, Dave, is that when you need a basket, you have answers inside. You can pound the ball in and try to get the points from inside the paint. And, you know, we haven't seen Kayla play that long, obviously, her first game here tonight. But she shows a lot of dexterity around the basket.
Megan McEwen turnaround layup was no good. Shot clock is off. Schmitter with the steal. 4-on-1 the other way for the Dolphins, and Megan McEwen does the right thing and backs things up. Dolphins do not have to shoot. They probably will not. 67-43. Looks like it will be our final.
Yeah, great start here for the CSI Dolphins. Great start to Nicole Sarkone's career as CSI Dolphin head coach as the Dolphins come up with the big win. And win by a final score of 67-43. And, you know, Dolphins fell behind in this game early by a score of 11-3. But once they came back and roared out to lead, they turned things around, went out in front by a score of 17-11. And, you know, from that point forward, really never looked back.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. And they did it with a good mix of veterans and new talent as well. So they are comforted knowing that they have several different options to work with from here on in.
Yeah, so a big win for the Dolphins as Megan McEwen nice enough to come over and join us here for the postgame. Dave?
All right, Megan, quite a way to start, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you play almost coast to coast, a little bit of foul trouble for you personally, but you got to feel really good running point to start the season and get yourselves off to a nice win.
Yeah, 100%.
So tell us a little bit about the new look of the team, getting to work with a lot of new faces. Tell us a little bit about how that's been going in the preseason and how you think it really went your first time out.
I think it's great because everyone's honestly underestimating us a lot, and we're coming in with new people, new freshmen, new transfers, and no one knows what to expect. Everyone thinks we graduated the seniors, but we work really hard. We have a great coaching staff, which is a whole new technique, and I think we executed it perfectly. I mean, we can even come out stronger, 100%, but I think as a team we pulled together really good and did an amazing job.
You know, Megan, one of the struggles that this team has had historically is the lack of size, and now you have three players over 6 feet, and Kayla Schmitter came out here tonight and played really a fantastic game as a freshman. What have you seen out of Kayla so far?
I knew Kayla Schmitter, and I harassed her before she came to CSI and said, you have to come here, we need you, I know how she is as a player. And she met all the expectations. She put on a show for everyone here, and that's not even all she has to offer. And she's going to be a big, big impact on our team on the boards and offensively. So
you know, Megan, this year you're going to be the player with the ball in our hands most of the time, and you know all the responsibility is going to fall on you. How do you look forward to handling those responsibilities here this year?
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the pressure, and I'm handle it. Like as a team, as a point guard, I'm the floor general, and I'm leading everyone, and I'm ready to take on that test.
So Megan, you couldn't have started the season any better. 1-0. You got NYU on Sunday.
Yep.
What are you expecting on Sunday?
They're a tough team. I mean, NYU, you hear the name itself. No matter what team you're playing, they're strong. So coming out, if we play our game, we will be fine. That's what we need to do, is just play our game as a team, and we'll be good.
All right, Megan, congratulations on a great game. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. So that's Megan McEwen, sophomore point guard for the CSI Dolphins, and for the 1-0 CSI Dolphins, Mike.
Boy, Dave, I'll tell you, I really, you want to contain your excitement. It's only one game against the St. Joe's Brooklyn team, but boy, there were a lot of positives for the Dolphins. And, you know, we always say it starts out with defense. this team did only allowed 43 points here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we didn't get a chance to speak to Kayla Schmitter, but I'm sure she's going to be on our radar. A tremendous evening from her. Just before we go off the air, we'll let you know CSI's leading scorer. Schmitter did lead the way with 20 points. She was 9 of 13, but Megan McEwen with the rock in her hand really for the first time since she's been a Dolphin. 16 points tonight, 4 assists. She added 3 rebounds. Diana Tadaro had 12 points, 9 rebounds for the Dolphins, and the other player in double figures, Jackie Calley, with 10. So overall, well-rounded. A lot of good play from the seniors, a lot of good play from the underclassmen as well. Gives us something to look forward to on Sunday, doesn't it?
Boy, Dave, I can't wait for Sunday, and a nice, tough matchup against NYU. And, you know, Megan is right, and if NYU comes out and is not prepared to play their top-flight game, they're in for a little bit of surprise from this new-look, young CSI Dolphins basketball team. All
right, so, Mike, before we go off the air, we will mention the fact that we will be back on the air in about 5 or 10 minutes to usher in CSI men's basketball. You notice they've taken the floor. Tip-off time is approximately 7:40. Okay, there's about 23 minutes left on the warm-up clock. So what Mike and I are going to do is we are going to go off of the air. When we come back, we will have CSI men's basketball on our other broadcast on the CSI Sportsnet page. So once again, if you're looking for CSI men's basketball, CSIDolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet. Tune in to the men's broadcast when we go off the air. So for Mike Babuski, for all of us, Rebecca DeLoya on camera, I'm David Pizzuto wishing you a great rest of night, and we'll see you for men's basketball coming up next.